All right, what's going on? Gonna come down here for a minute. All right, I want to congratulate the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis's first championship. This is the team's second world championship in 50 years. 50 years ago, 1971, Lou Alcindor, aka Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, won a championship at a time when a team was brand new in the late 60s. So, congrats on the Bucks winning. The game was almost kind of close, but it was a little bit over, and they beat them by a couple of points. Um, I saw the whole game, but when I went to the bathroom after I brushed my teeth, man, I saw them hosting the trophy, and I knew it was over because at first I thought Phoenix was going to get it, but Giannis was going to win because one, they figured him out, so they beat him in the regular season. See, this is probably the most funnest playoffs you're going to see in a long time. They can't win another one because the players now are in uh in decay mode. So they're done. I don't see them winning. They're finished at this point. Giannis done took the next level. Now he's got to work on it in the gym and be that monster that he's supposed to be. Now he's the next star. I knew he was gonna win a championship because when he won that MVP, and I've been watching him for the last couple of years since 2017. This dude was incredible that year. He had a hell of a year. That was his year when he grew. But then rose up to an MVP. Hard work. He started out like he was frail at first, but now he's learning to get the massive body. He's longevity. He's the standard of modern NBA since he played in Greece, as a child, whatever. So he's the modern standard. I can accept that if a foreign player controls the NBA. So I'm okay with that. Him being champion instead of Luka Doncic, even though he can win one too, but Giannis is a great fit, a terrific fit. It's just the American black players ain't that good like they used to be. It ain't like how I grew up back in I should say '07, '03 in the early 90s as a child when basketball was really about something. So I just want to congratulate the Bucks for a great win. And that team was built and that coach shut people up. I told you that Spurs system. Mike Budenholzer. Now they can't say shit about it. Now they can't. He's got a ring now. His system does work. They all come from that Spurs tree. I predicted the Sixers was gonna win the championship, but my third pick was the Bucks. So Milwaukee was a good fit. But I think the Milwaukee Bucks did a great job. They had a great season, great playoff run. Giannis is gonna be that standard. So I appreciate him. You know what I'm saying? Like I understand that he is the blueprint of what's going on today. So when you got a bunch of guys in the space beefing about some bullshit, I was paying attention to playoffs during this whole time making my content. And now the NBA is over. Now I gotta wait on the draft, see who's gonna get picked and what. So I got the attention on me now. So now sports is kind of dead right now, but baseball and things like that. But I don't watch that much baseball, you know, like I used to always go to the games. COVID season's about damn near over. But like I said, it's continuation. I doubt it. It's an experiment. It'll be like the Spanish flu. A lot of people try to say it ain't. No, it's a weapon too. They all ended up being dead, but who cares? The country's going on the collapse. I've been teaching the collapse since 9 years. I was on that tip too, even back in '07. Don't get me started. And the space is gonna stay the same. It's gonna die off. People's doing their own fucking thing. I'm just watching a restream of myself on Kuda's last panel. I mean, he makes some excellent points, but my problem is with the space. It's not about gear; it's the substance. Like I keep saying, it's evergreen content. If you take the bullshit out of beefs and talk about women all the time, you don't have no fucking content. I don't care how much gear and all that. Yeah, audio has to be crisp. It's cool. I respect it, but it's not about audio. It's how you sound on the audio. What's your conviction? I know microphones is a step up. I'm trying to work on that on my computer. That makes sense. On the phone, yes, you're gonna sound great on camera. It's no need to be on camera and try to impress and be braggadocious. I've seen people come and go. The last time a person that was on camera and starting up shit, or it could be positive, negative, but if he ain't built for the lights, that's just one thing. Kevin Samuels is already in mainstream. YouTube is mainstream. Google is mainstream. It was underground for years, but the governments control these sites. But once it became mainstream, when they start give people monetization back in '08, I'm telling you the history myself. I've been on this too. That's when YouTube kind of died. Okay, it died long time ago. What these dudes don't understand, they've been sold out. Okay, mainstream was always been here. The sad part, they try to say they're gonna put a paywall. You already got a paywall. It's called YouTube Premium and YouTube TV. And I don't think people are hearing me because number one, if you're buying YouTube TV and YouTube Premium, you already supporting the paywall. 9 out of 10, they're not gonna beat TikTok in the next 5 years. I'm gonna tell you that right now. TikTok's gonna be the next YouTube in the future, mainstream wise. I hate to say that because they're gonna have to change their whole format. That's why OnlyFans is changing their whole format. See, YouTube's been the standard for years. They're trying to take down Google. Google is gonna step their game up. They determine what YouTube is gonna look like. They can fire that woman right now in politics. What's her name? Susan. They can replace her any day with that woke shit. That woke shit's gonna die off. And then what I saw in this championship in the NBA Finals, this is the standard. They want foreign players to win the NBA championship. The black players, yeah, you had American players wanted for them, but still, Giannis is the star. He's the superstar. You just got mediocre American black players and above average players. You got a lot of B's and C's, finesse motherfuckers that don't fit with the superior players in the past. But shouts out to the Bucks. They had a great season, terrific season. A lot of people think they weren't going to win the championship. They was like actually my third pick. My second pick, no, take it back. They my second pick to third pick, close to Brooklyn. It was a toss up, but Brooklyn was very careful because they had Durant. Yeah, Giannis can win another one. He's got a properly built team. He can win another one. I don't trust anybody in the East but the Bucks or the Sixers. The Nets got a long way to go. They just need to get rid of James Harden and D'Antoni, and they could be over the hill. Lakers are finished. Phoenix will go back to the finals again. I guess this is a new trend. They're trying to sell tickets to see the finals again. You know what I mean? And this is the NBA. NBA is weird like that. See, anytime LeBron doesn't win a championship, when Tom Brady wins the Super Bowl, LeBron does not win a fucking championship. Anytime Tom Brady does not win the championship, it could be LeBron or anybody else wins the championship. But Wagon said they ain't finished. Dog, they finished, bro. I mean, when you got LeBron declining like that, bro, I just don't see them winning long term. Like he's ain't got one ring in him, but he realized he's got some years, but we'll see. But I will say this: without LeBron, the Lakers will be fine. But I'm saying that as a current team, I don't see him competing like that. The West is wide open. Chris Paul, shouts out to him for going to the finals. He shut people up. Now he's got to challenge Giannis. Now Giannis, if he wants to go back, this could be a great series if they want, because the NBA is all about the team domination and stars. What's killing black players now? Now you got to compete with guys like Giannis. Now they got to open up the draft. Now they got to open up the high school things. Yeah, he did. And the Lakers was because the two stars were injured. And once they get healthy, they'll win another chip. They may. It depends. It depends though. But the West, he ain't the same player. Like LeBron is not gonna have that same team again because I don't know what the Lakers are doing. Because I don't trust Anthony Davis. He's not a guy I would trust. Period. It's like Kyrie. It's the same thing with Brooklyn. They have to make some adjustments, and they effed up when they got rid of Dwight Howard and whatchamacallit, Green. But they want to go elsewhere. But Lakers trying to get cute, trying to get moves. Milwaukee's gonna be fine. All they need is DiVincenzo and them guys. Giannis gonna win another one. I just trust them for some reason. That team is better built. They could beat any of those teams, but they just gotta have that spark. But I congratulate them though. Like they can win a game 7, but hey, yeah, he did. That was probably, I would say, that Cleveland season. He went down, but that COVID championship, they're not gonna give him credit for that because he was gonna win it regardless. But he wasn't the same player then. I mean, he was the same player, but he wasn't the same spark that I've noticed. He's being very careful because he's getting into that age. Once he gets 40, he ain't the same player. He's declining already. So he's going to have to get guys that's willing to win. See, he was 80% of the whole playoffs. It was like KD was at 80%. They're lucky the Lakers and the Nets didn't go to the finals. They luckily, they would have stayed. But I just don't see them winning again, man. Like, LeBron has nothing to prove at this point. That Jordan conversation is over. I don't see that. I don't see him going that far. I mean, the NBA is different right now. Oh, by the way, Charles Barkley is going to leave TNT in 2 years. He's going to do his podcasting. He's tired of the woke culture. My father told me about that. I said, well, it's going to be interesting because the broadcasting jobs are wide open because of Marv Albert, yeah. He retired this year. So TNT is going to look very, very different. I think they're going to have a lot of females analysts real soon. I think they're going to have a female analyst real soon. But I will say this, the sphere is going to be the same. I think the brothers should go to the alternative media route instead of worrying about mainstream media all the time. Because gear is so irrelevant at this point. They should have did that back in 07 when this space first started. They should have did that when the time we could have compete with Alex Jones and stuff. They so dumb, man. Even if LeBron won a chip in the bubble, the Lakers had to beat the same NBA players that play against outside of the bubble. Therefore, he still get the credit for winning the chip. Yeah, he does. But I'm saying most people they'll forget about it because I'll say if we get older, we won't forget. But I'm saying the younger generations, how arrogant. Uh, I would say the hatred of LeBron, the biasness, because there's always going to be a group of generation people that's going to say, "Oh, he just got it because in the bubble." You know how fans are. Because sometimes I don't listen what fanatics say. I just look at the results, how he did it, and I blame the other players letting them win that championship. They had an advantage to win. It was several teams, but they wasn't built for it. But see, when you got fans back, a lot of teams get that edge. It's like a cheat code. The fans give them that edge. That's how those players win. See, LeBron's a different beast. He's like, even though he's a Capricorn, but he's smart. He's pragmatic. All he has to do is break these boys down and beat them up. What's going on? Yeah, I know. I seen last night's game too, Juan G's. Yeah, it's just like I predicted. They're like my third pick the East this year because I picked the Sixers to win it because Dwight Howard and Danny Green. Even though the Bucks made me proud. Yeah, the haters that won't give LeBron credit, but so what? So what? The basketball sports will always give but yeah, they will. They will. The media will wacky. I'm just saying the fans won't. You know, over time, it's crazy. It never stops. Once he retires, I'll tell you this: once he retires, they'll forget about him in 30 years. In 10 to, I'll say like this: 5 to 10 to 20 years, we will remember LeBron. Our generation will remember him as a great player of this era. But when you get to 30 years or 40 years, if we ever live that long, some of us that if we do, they'll be like, who is that guy? And then if we old and got gray, we said that, man, that's the greatest specimen small forward I ever seen in my life. That dominated the basketball court. He decimated players, got inside their heads. He's a great specimen. I'm not a fan of LeBron, but I understand how he got it done. They won't appreciate him when he leaves. That's what most people say. The true fans of him. I'm not a fan of him, but I'm just saying they're gonna appreciate him when he's gone. They can't say it now, but the NBA will be all right. Won't give him credit. They say, who cares? Yeah, a lot of chips. Let's go, man. But yeah, now Giannis gonna have to be that guy, man. Now he's got to show what he's made of. Thanks to LeBron in that position. Now the pressure's on him. So this guy's what, 6'11"? Shit. You got to show me, can you surpass LeBron James? Because he's on the decline. Can you be that specimen? Because I'm impressed with Giannis. I mean, I've been watching him since, what, 2017? When I was in the workplace. This dude's amazing. But what I've learned from him was he understands the game. He understands the game the right way. Even though he's in a Spurs system in a Bucks uniform, they can have a chance to win another one if they wanted to. A lot of people think they're gonna lose. I doubt it, man. No, if the Bucks keep playing like they play in regular season and this playoffs and learn some game tape, they're gonna be tough to stop. I wouldn't trust the West next year, because that draft is going to determine who's going to have better players. Now, the Lakers better do well in this second round draft. I want to see something. Anthony Davis is not the future. If I was the Lakers, I'd get rid of him and let him go somewhere else and get another star. I would get that's disgruntled right now. I'm talking about LeBron needs somebody that's not injury prone. Anthony Davis wants to go to Chicago deep down. I see him going, but the Lakers, they need somebody better. Anthony Davis ain't gonna cut it. He always get hurt a lot. You need somebody that's gonna score and do damage. That's the fucking problem. You know, they need a system. They need a real system, real bad. If I really believe. Now the Clippers, that's a whole nother story. They're a mess right now. Kawhi's like what they say, his body's like an old man right now. Shoot. That's a great question. It depends on who's next up. Lakers got options, but they got a problem with the salary cap. So Davis is their guy for now, but he stays hurt a lot, man. He needs to work on his health. If not, LA's a tough town to stay in, man. You got to win at least a couple championships, but trusting him, man, with that lineup, I just can't, man. Drummond was a bad pickup. I mean, he's got to go. They got to restructure that team for LeBron. LeBron, like, what is the problem? His ego. What's going on, man? American Eagle. Yeah, Giannis has to have at least 3 championships rings to come close to. Yeah, he will. He will. But if he's the real deal, this one he impressed me. But if he does this again, like I said, work on himself, work on some game tape on teams that he's got to go against regular season and playoffs, and keep in mind, improve not just the shooting, but over all around game. Just be destructive. Be like I want to say like a LeBron and Shaq, but just be the guy. Be it. Because the NBA, they like those star guys. They want to be those monsters. They want to be. You got to dominate. You know what I'm saying? LeBron doesn't prove that. He don't. If he gets another championship, he's already in the Hall of Fame legendary status anyway. So even if he doesn't get a championship, I tell people all the time, if he doesn't get one, he's still great. If he gets a fifth one, he's still great. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter at this point because LeBron's shooting for records. He's trying to get Kareem's record right now. He's stat chasing too, so he has to be in tip-top shape. But it ain't gonna be easy because now you got Pascal Malone, tries to win another championship, but his team got to be structured first. He's looking how Giannis won that championship. You know what I mean? That's going to motivate LeBron to cut some dudes down. He's going to have to talk to Jenny Buss and talk to Anthony Davis. You got to win this. You can't be sitting around and crying about being hurt and whining about situations and games. It's a lot of plays he done effed up. Like, Davis got to change his whole style. Quit trying to be scared to go down the hole. And stop shooting all those threes, man. He's too finesse. He be whining a lot. And I don't like that in interviews, but I used to respect the Lakers than that. That's my dad's team. He grew up watching the Lakers as a child, man. Your Lakers got to do better, man. I know he's a little upset, but hey, the media's gonna back him regardless. But that's a pressure. I couldn't do it. If I was a player, I couldn't carry a franchise like that. Not the Lakers. That's the last team I wouldn't carry because you don't want to mess up their reputation. But I'll tell you this: in the future, they're still gonna be a great team without them. I'm just saying it right now because I look at these players coming out of high school. Lakers gonna be fine in the next, I'll say 5 to 10 years or more if they have better players. But the NBA's up and down. But that Bucks team, the reason they won is that 50-year curse, man. They had the right player, right time. Giannis came on time because they thought he was going to lose the finals. Everybody thought, I thought they didn't have it either. I picked the Suns. I had to take this L today, but I had to congratulate Giannis, man. He's the real deal. Yeah. Yeah, man. You gotta be consistent in this NBA stuff. You can't be crying about losing the playoffs. You just gotta get better. But the NBA is gonna be fine. It's in a great direction. And LeBron's gonna have to understand the West is a lot harder. It's not the East. What they say, he went to 9 finals. That's a hell of a record. See, that right there, he don't even have to do nothing else. He don't have to do nothing else at this point. Because when you think about him, now Giannis got to do the same thing. But the problem is he built for it? I want to see if Giannis goes to that next level. He will, but that championship is going to motivate him even more. So the Bucks going to have to pick a few guys up, get rid of some guys like they normally do, and keep the same lineup or add some new pieces. Because that's a team that's winning right now in the East. Philadelphia's number 2. Brooklyn's got a project. They need to get rid of James Harden or Kyrie Irving because that ain't your future championship right now. Or keep Kyrie and tell him to improve his game, but he's injury prone too, just like Anthony Davis. You can't trust him. But a lot of teams, I can't take no more bad teams. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, the playoffs is over. But shouts out to Giannis and everybody in Milwaukee. We're gonna be all right. But this fear, man, all about this gear talk. Y'all should have did that decades ago, man. I mean, I agree with the brother, but dude, you just gonna have to be an entertainer, man. It's certain dudes is about for money. What's going on, Third World Salute? All y'all care, if I was cool, I would stick to entertainment and just blossom, man, because you're already in mainstream now. Ain't nobody trying to get big off this. KS is just he's a flop. He gonna be all right. That petition is BS. 9 out of 10, most people with those petitions don't even work. I got a petition story for y'all. Once upon a time, they was trying to petition a certain video game or certain, I'll say rock star, like GTA 5, say it was bad, whatever, and certain stuff they didn't get in the DLC. 9 out of 10, that shit don't work. These hoes and women, they're desperate. They're done. I don't see them winning in the future. They just don't have what it takes to stop dude. Like, he's gone to the moon. He's gonna get 5 million next year. It's gonna be one of those spheres. Like I said before on my stream, the purple paradise, man. That's what you got. Y'all just gonna have to suffer, man. And the only person that hijacked the space is the big homie, JX, man. She decimated this space, and then she has an avatar that barely cams up. I'm not mad. I'm not mad about it. I'm just saying, I'm calling out the hypocrisy. If you want everybody to cam up, well, tell her to cam up and be the leader. And she's not built for that. What's going on, Toya? Salute. They're not built for that, man. That's why you got a lot of females that don't want to get doxxed or cammed up and all that stuff. And I get it. But that individual, me personally, from observing last year, this year decimated the space. Yes, she got a new microphone and everything, but she killed it. So there is no manosphere. So the manosphere to me, like you said last year, it is dead in a way. I hate to say it. All it is sectors. And the mainstream manosphere on the other side trying to say they white. No, you just mainstream manosphere. You done sold out to KS, man. Y'all nothing but blue pill dandies. Or shall I say the purple paradise, preaching pseudo red pill, and they ain't even red pill. Because when you talk about females, that's like I said this before on this channel, it's called stagnation content. Stagnation content doesn't give you evergreen content. It's just like Gully TV said, if you're not talking about anything with substance or helping others, take the beefs and all the BS away, you don't have no content. Because I've done this before. I left this space 6 years ago prior, and they was watching my shit, and my shit elevated. It was new people coming in. It was a different type of vibe. Yeah, tech was fast and still strong, but the tech, everything is getting smaller. You know what I'm saying? Cell phones and all that's getting smaller. Yeah, you may have big screens, but everything is getting smaller. Microphones is getting smaller. Headphone piece is getting smaller. You already got that. That's reasonable. Now everybody's gonna buy those big ass headphones in the future. So the mics are gonna get smaller and smaller, man. It'll be on your chest if you try to come up in the near future like the news, because the news people got every type of microphone in the world. Everybody's not gonna carry microphones in the future. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. That's not the future. That's just a piece of the future. Because I would say most people, I should say humans and mankind is behind tech, period. Because you got a white system that don't give a damn about anybody. I know how tech works. Tech is always a step ahead. They got a lot of hidden technology you don't see. It all came from the military. A lot of people try to say gear is this, gear and that, but it's not real gear. What you're saying, you're getting hand-me-downs. I was saying that shit when I was in the workplace, bro. I mean, you sound like me when I was working years ago. I'm talking about 2016 and prior. I used to say that offline and said, yeah, technology was a disaster. But I should say when the smartphone came around this time, when I lost my first channel, around that era, and then I built this channel up. You know, it's 9 years old now. This is my second channel, and then I got a Twitter. Well, I'll say Twitter, but it's not really a Twitter, but it's like an entertainment account. But I ain't gonna mention the name, but it's hidden. Um, around that time too, them years was rough. That's when the smartphone kind of killed it, and a lot of people just want to be bots and fans and fanatics and shit like that. And technology's gotten smaller and smaller. You know, yeah, I have a nice size phone. It's a little bigger screen. That's cool. They're bringing them back, but it's still making smaller phones. I'm sorry, y'all. They try to make a studios out of it. He was saying studios, and then when he's saying about those studios, I said, see, that's the problem right there. That's tech right there. But it's getting smaller. You know what I'm saying? You don't need a studio. A studio is so prehistoric right now. You can have one. And what's the point of rebuilding? That's my little criticism of what he was saying of that stream. I respect his stream, and you know, it was a good stream, great stream. We was talking about something else and different things. Of course, we was clowning and everything, but I get what he's saying. But not everybody can podcast. I said this on a self live stream. Not everybody can podcast, bro. They ain't built for that. Now I can podcast if I want to, but I've learned podcasting is audio, yes, and it's not just audio. It's just how you talk to people on panels and camming up or in person. It's like interviewing. A camera's not the problem. Camera's not the problem. I think cameras, anybody can get a camera. It's how you sound on the camera and how you sound on the microphone. Because if your message is bullshit, everybody, yeah, autorated, yeah, that too. Appreciate it. Yeah, sometimes when you podcast and your subject is so stagnation, the same bullshit I hear on the street, or should I say in the grocery store by my own people, whoever, and white folks as well. If you're in the suburbs talking about the same old shit, it gets redundant. And what I see in YouTube in general, they talk about the same shit, and it's not good. Because Kevin Samuels, he's good and he's also bad. He's good to help people with marriage. I give him that, but he's also bad for us because they want to finesse black man. and I said this before, he's tailor-made for mainstream. They don't want guys like me or rugged men that's telling the truth. I mean, we have the voice of intelligence and be like that, but they don't want somebody that's rugged all the time and actually get our hands dirty. They want somebody that's clean, blessed, and finesse, and don't care about certain individuals and entitled snobs. They don't want guys that are not entitled snobs. So that's classism right there. I mentioned that in the stream with fasting. That's the problem right there. It's class. As long as you deal with classism and fame, that's why people hate celebrities. They want them dead. They want them killed. It's just like the Revolutionary Wars, like France, Haiti. I can go on and on. Classism is the number one problem in the world. And what you saw in sports last night, I mean, Giannis proved he had to change to be the guy, man. He had to be vicious. He had to be super, super vicious. And he did a great job last night and got to prove that a lot of these teams in the West and East, they're finished. I mean, you got to readjust. Now the draft is going to make you readjust and you got to do what you do. But in the sphere, it's going to be nigga shit, regardless of if we improve with gear. But if you're talking about the same shit, nobody's fucking watching you. I know for a fact, I watch my analytics all the time. I watch people what they watch, in comments, not in just live streams or this. I'm talking about pre-records in general, the history of fandom and subscribers who's loyal. It's them. It's not the content creator, no. But if you're a content creator like the clout chasing and love stagnation content, you already done. I'll give you an example, Taz. He said, I bodied everybody. He said that in Platinums, right? You only body a few niggas. You didn't body everybody. Stop it, bro. You didn't even body Angry Man. And Angry Man is still here. That's not bodying someone. You want to body somebody? Body them on a live stream and get inside their head and destroy them and make sure they not be on YouTube ever again. And make them delete their whole channel. That's when you body somebody. I'll do a stream later on the finals and my take on it. It would love for you to join the panel. Yeah. I will come by. I will come by. I will come by. Because I'm free tonight. Yeah, I'm free tonight. But yeah, man. It's sad. It's sad that people listen to a guy like that and you got 8,000 based off clout chasing. Yeah. And I'm just saying clout chasing is king on YouTube. A lot of people don't understand that. That has been a problem since 2012 and beyond in '08. Ever since they added AdSense and monetization, that's what killed sites like these. And they don't understand you got to be a certain person to make it. Not everybody's gonna make it out of the sphere. I understand Kuda's point. I respect him as a brother. He's a good dude. He's very loyal. Appreciate his work. But brother, you just gonna have to select few. Just don't get upset. Don't get discouraged. I try to tell them on fan, don't get discouraged. Just be the entertainer. Just dust these dudes, man. You got it. You got the power. All you have to do is pick a brand and then just go out there and do it. See, Kevin, his brand was simply relationships. That's how you get views. Not this circle jerking, clout chasing, stagnation content that we see right now. Because when you talk about relationships, but you're talking about somebody else, for example, like a female, who cares about Pen G and all them? They're dumb. They've been destroyed. The reason they got subscribers, they got brainwashed fools. And she don't give a fuck about none of her subscribers. She's not doing nothing. That means she's irrelevant. It's because she's got 60,000. That means she's not growing. I'll show you what's growth. Growth is when you have 100,000 subscribers or more and millions of subscribers. That's growth. Anybody can get 60,000. I'll give you an example. What's her name? I watched this Red Pill community person. What's her name? Melly Monaco, our artist, right? I subscribed to her. She had like, what, 43,000? For the past couple months and weeks, she jumped up to 80-something thousand. Now, how in the fuck did she jump up that fast? I think I was on a stream when Kuda showed me a video of her. She has some good stuff. I mean, she talks about the same stuff, but you know, that's a woman that I let them rock and win and let them eat. You know, that's the standard now. But she sounds different than them other people, and she mixes it up. She's got different types of videos. So her doing that type of style on her channel, that's how her channel blew up. Now she may end up stop doing it and go back to music. That's amazing. I tell you, that's that KS wave, man. I'm telling you, everybody's doing that format. They trying to say that's the way to do it. To me, that's a trend. But that trend, I hate to say it, it's a stagnation trend. It's like Gully TV said, you can't talk about it for like, I would say about 5 or 3 or 4 years. And if you can't produce the same content, you up out of here. You got to have different things to talk about to balance it out so you get your views up. Not everybody's going to get a lot of big views, but it takes time. Because if people see your work, see, my channel is a jam. My channel is, I don't know if it's currently shadow banned or blacklisted, but I'm in the algorithms, yes. But people got to find it in the search. I'm getting searches from Google search, Yahoo search. I look at my analytics. That's where my searches are coming from. They're not coming from the recommendations. What's going on, Art of New South? Peace. That was a good stream you did last night about the brother. I mean, TBA, he went left field. I don't know what his problem was. I mean, that's a good stream. Everybody had different points. But yeah, man, it's, you know, I did one last night on Black Civilization. I'm gonna do a series on Elon, just a separate stream, and then I'll do another one with the other one. I think was it Elon? Is that, and there's another one behind Elon. Yeah, I'm gonna do some separate streams on those the histories of that website. So I put that on my channel for years. Um, yeah, Gear Talk is great. You know, you just gotta know what you're doing. And I was looking at his replay in the beginning of it. If I was him, I would just blossom in the entertainment side, man. I would just flourish. But when you got guys like that has a great music background, if I was Ty City and them included, I'll do that. You know, Ty City's stuck on the crypto thing, but I think he's gonna be all right. He's gonna grow. But a lot of people outgrow the space in time, but they're still associated with the people. There's only a handful that's gonna make it. The space is designed to develop men anyway. You know what the 1.0 was about. 2.0 was a little different. They deal with the I would say the relationship aspects, the esoteric stuff. They're doing good, but it ain't enough. See, 3.0 was supposed to be about the tech, but Stream Team, they was about gear. They didn't know what to do, and there was a little civil war between the two. But it's decimated now. Now you got people claiming 4.0 and 5.0 madness, but it's just, I don't know what it is at this point. But the space has the whole weight. Now it's like, what do we do now? You know, because I'm looking at old streams of the man I'm subscribed to. Like, I'm seeing the idea what I want for my channel, because I ain't trying to be repeating myself over and over again. But you know, I shouldn't. But for the new subscribers, watch those streams, man. Like I tell people, when you have a subscription, make sure they're loyal. But eventually, the upgrades is coming. Like I said before, because I'm going to invest in getting a microphone and I'll be all right. But 9 out of 10, mainstream media is going to be mainstream media. And I like what someone said in the chat in that replay. And he said, they're going to be women driven. Of course, they're going to be women driven. As long as you talk about relationships and drama, stagnation content, like I mentioned in my stream with evergreen content, you up out of here, man, because evergreen content will always win, because evergreen content can be anything. It can be, if you have a classic, I would say debate stream or history stream or whatever it is, it can be sports. It can be not just politics, but it can be an art thing that you do, or drawing an art picture or anything. And if you're pure about what you're saying with conviction, that's content. See, what I've learned last year, I couldn't be a panelist like that. You know, a lot of these people that are panelists, most of them don't even have real content. And I'm concerned about that. And I try to tell them, pull to the side. I told this to Bro Truth on Old Boy's channel last year. I said, dude, you need to do some content. You sound good, not just on the panel. You can do something for yourself. You can't just be hanging around dudes that already have a name, and that's not the wave. I mean, pre-records is great too, but it has to be concise. You got to pick a topic that ain't about the same stuff everybody else do. You got to be different, and you got to move around. I mean, you can have the same message, but the topic got to be different. You got to move around. Can you do different things? That's what I've learned when I got older. When I was younger, I was focused on sports a lot. Once I got older, I'd have interest at what I like. See, YouTube back then when I was a teenager in '07, my first channel, I was talking about different shit. Music, little politics, I would say a little drama, and what was going on in the world, you know. But the manosphere stuff, I didn't fell into that like 2012, my old channel into this channel. I lost my old channel on some political stuff on the top. They made a hit list that got us up out of here. And that's how MGTOW kind of grew around that year too. I told this to Kuda and I said, that's how they grew. And a lot of people didn't support it at the time, but years later they did. Now it's like slightly strong because the females done came in and violated the spaces. But the space did have female supporters, but the men ran the show. So it's supposed to be a male space, but technically it wasn't. If you study 1.0, it was a bit of both. But the females wasn't a thing. They stayed in the background. But over time, it was a male space in the 2.0 set. That's what they was trying to do. But the problem was they didn't slay enough females. They slayed one female. What's her name? I call her Pen G. I don't care if her name is Cynthia or whatever. She's irrelevant. I don't care if she has 60,000. She still has stagnation content. If you take away the talking points and talking down to men, she's still weak. She can't even get past the white feminists. They laughing at her ass right now. She's a hypocrite. And a lot of dudes complain about her so much, they don't have the arsenal to take her down. I noticed that the difference between the two spheres. But 2.0, they already have a great foundation. Thanks God they have a guy like KS to counter that. He's playing it safe, but he's got his own fan base. And I said this before, I predict he may get more subscribers. The more y'all call him the G words and stuff like that, he's still going to win regardless. You know, I'm not a big supporter of him like that, but I respect that he is playing his cards right. He's not a threat. A lot of people think he's a threat, but he's not a threat. He's not a threat. He's finesse. And he's the right person for that job, like BGS said. Shout out to BGS for that. But that's his boy. He's gonna support him, and that's a good support you want to need in the sphere. A petition, I'll tell you this, ain't gonna do shit. It's just like the video game petitions. Like they get mad where there's violent video games. That's what it reminds me of. They ain't gonna do shit. The white men don't trust our women like that. They don't. They're just bait. They want to keep us down though. I do know that. And there's nothing wrong having women on panels. I had one recently was on a panel. She's cool. But a lot of dudes got to understand that's the future. And some people want co-ed panels. They be watching. They trying to sell a market. And Google's doing this. It's not YouTube, it's Google. Yeah, man. But I have no problem where the space is going in the direction. Some people say it's going to be destroyed. Some say it's going to be all right. But to me, it's going to be all right. I don't think it's going to be destroyed. The ones that hate on it, they ain't going to make it because their content is stagnation. If you ain't got no growth behind it, you up out of here. You know what I'm saying? YouTube is not playing, or any social media site that I've known. They're not playing with people. That's why I listen to Gully TV, man. Like the stuff he switched up and got away from the Alpo topics, he started branching out in sports. Thank God for his other channels. And he said the same thing. You got to produce that better type of content. But evergreen content is always king. It could be positive, negative, but if it has a legendary view or what you did, you gonna last long. That's why my old videos last long. That's why I'm still fine where I'm at But if I ever get a few upgrades, I'm gonna be good because all I need is a few pieces. That's it. I don't need a studio to do this. I ain't trying to be a music guy. See, Kuda is a music guy. He's not just a sound guy and a tech guy. He's a music guy. But he's gonna have to understand everything's gonna get smaller. The white man is low down with technology. I've seen this many times in every decade, and they're not stopping. Even my dad is an auditor. He tells me this all the time. So he watched those tech shows on different tech people. They upgrade too damn fast. That's why Marquise Brownlee, or a lot of people say Marcus A. Brownlee, but he is the standard of the young black man that has tech. He's got 4 studios, different microphones, different gear, different smaller cell phones, and he's got his own company too. He's the only black person standing in tech right now. Not every tech guy is good either. They are all right, but they ain't the best. So you're competing against him with his 14 or more, or should I say 17 million. That's a problem. Now, KS deals with relationships. I'll give you an example of him. He can get that number if he wants to. He's looking at the guys that got a lot of millions. So once he made it, now it puts pressure on the guys in certain space on both sides. The whole sphere. Are you going to invest that lane, or are you going to just, if you want to talk about women, you might want to upgrade like KS, man, because he's putting pressure on certain people. Now, O'Shea ain't going to do nothing. He's going to talk about the same old shit all day long. I know his content, but if he's trying to improve, we'll see. Because see, a lot of people, they got to get away from the stagnation content. I talked about this in the stream. You're not doing anything. Now, if you want to go in depth on feminism, Wacky World of O is the only one I know, and Big J talks about it on their streams. It's only a handful. Now, BGS, I say he's up there too. It's only a handful. It ain't that many. Kuda talks about it a little bit, but he don't because he's distracted by other stuff. So he's up there. It's only a handful. It ain't that many. That takes effort, These ideologies in these groups, they're going to have to figure out a way for agency to move. See, Angry Man's doing the right thing. He trademarked his brand, which is great. He met up with Kendra and them. That's the first step. But those meetups, like Kuda said, yeah, it ain't going to do shit because people going to go right back to the same old stuff. You got to give people time. This is just, I would say, the light of it. And next year, you got to watch the elections, how it's going to play out, too. They ain't going to let sit people home all day. Now, the future is going to be sitting home jobs, yes. But they ain't going to do it right now, no, because the infrastructure is bad, according to Mike V. The infrastructure is bad. We got to fix ourselves. And me, Go Professor, said this on a panel once. I said, every tech thing that you use is getting smaller and smaller, even microphones. You're going to get technical. But when it gets smaller, you're going to have to produce. And that's not the problem with tech. I mean, you just got to grow with it. It's like when we was young, we remember technology was big old stuff. I mean, Gen X and all them other people and boomers, they remember this. But when we were younger, when I saw a first computer, it was an Apple computer with a black green screen. It was back in the 90s. My dad had a computer off the block where I come from in Tennessee. We had it for a while, and he kept upgrading every year. Him and his friend Larry used to fix on computers and shit in the hood. I'm talking about 90s now. I'm talking about early 90s. We was having fun with that shit. Even though I went outside and everything and played ball and all that stuff. And then the video games start changing. Consoles, they were big and huge, and later they got smaller over the decades. And we didn't have this much tech then Zillennials did. I mean, we did, but we didn't grow up in the age of Instagram. Not as children. I ain't talking about as teenagers. I'm talking about as children. Because Millennials did. Some of them grew up around when Instagram was probably created somewhere around later, or around the time of 2012. We didn't grow up in that age. I mean, we grew up at the age of MySpace, I'll say YouTube, and we probably grew up in ages when tech was like a baby. It wasn't even, and the tech wasn't shit. They try to say it was great. No, it wasn't. It was not great. Not those years. The tech we got now is all right, but it ain't the best tech. The best tech is hidden. Y'all ain't ready for that. Y'all ain't ready for that conversation. Yeah, you can talk about gear, microphones all day long, but everything's gonna be smaller. And Kuda already knows. He's already on it. See, he's ahead of it. All he has to do is just be that entertaining. He talk about them little Zoyas and them little things like that. Well, do it, man. You don't need a lot of people. He gonna realize that. He gonna realize that the next 2 years. Because the shit he's talking about, that's been done. That's the only thing I disagree with on, because his type of format ain't gonna work. Now, Fantastic is not right. He's wrong. Yelling at a cell phone ain't the future. You're gonna have to have a certain microphone, man. Certain gear or certain. You don't need a whole lot of equipment, because podcasting is a whole nother beast. It's not about just being a broadcast. It's about selling yourself and being an interviewer. Now everybody can interview. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. It's only a handful who can do it. Now Kevin can, because he's got the voice, he's got the presence. That's what people is claiming him to be now, because he got that face and they want him. See, guys in the spirit, we don't have that. We just a bunch of guys that have ideas and I would say facts and opinions sometimes and stats. But we gotta get away from that and just produce outside. We're gonna be all right. We just need to be constructed. We'll be fine. I ain't worried about it. It's a certain individual. Do they want to be in the next step? It's only an individual thing. It's not a group thing. Because the manosphere that I know back then, you have to have that mindset to want to go out there and do it. A lot of men can't do it because they got problems. They're still stuck in red pill raging. They deal with the relationship stagnation content. They're still stuck, and it's understandable because a lot of people got to help each other. It's not going to be, let's get all the tech and microphones and have boom arms all the time. That ain't going to work. Only a handful of people's going to make that. And Kuda's got his guys. That's great. Just improve. That's going to help us to get better. But the thing is, the message got to change. You got to quit talking about the woman all the time and try to confront feminism. And this is not a color thing. It's a man thing, because the white boys are stressing out over this shit, having fights over these hoes over here, man. In the South, up and down, in the politics, it's getting physical. And he said something about the trans fighting the females. That's going to happen. And it goes for both races. They get tired of getting punched. Says now it's real gender politics. Now you're gonna be tested physically. See, it's like Armageddon, man. These dudes ain't ready for that. I remember the Hebrew Israelites back in 2012 and on up in them years pre-manosphere, they was on that type of time. Manosphere ain't ready for that. Not at 1.0, 2.0 at the time, they wasn't, because they didn't have the infrastructure. See, we need to invest in alternative media. That's what right now, even this mainstream Google and YouTube, because there's other avenues like Rumble and things like that. We can do that. But YouTube is just a small figment of that. So they're competing with other social media sites. So yeah, it's okay to come to space and learn, but just take some ideas and build your own. Don't try to be like the next man. Try to be different. Because people will come to a place in your spot. You can have different ideas and improve on your equipment at the same time, but have real topics. Because 9 out of 10, it's good to talk about community issues and things like that, but you got to produce that real content, that evergreen about you. Because a lot of times, a lot of dudes, they ain't really built like that. I've noticed on panels, they say they are, but they really not. But Dr. Short, shouts out to him. I love this story. He's from the South, so it makes sense that he told that story to VA, and VA didn't get it. It's about self-defense. It sounded crazy at first when I said it in the chat, but then I understand where he was coming from about the racism in the class in it, and I said, I see. So I didn't go to no all-white school, thank God. I didn't. Mine was black first, and it was diverse. I grew up in Tennessee, but I can tell you a lot of stories. A lot of white kids wasn't that tough as nails like that. I used to fight them all the time in school, and black kids too. It's really black kids first, then white kids later. White kids wasn't as tough as y'all think. Back in the day they were, but not in the 90s. No, they was fragile. They was weak. They talked a lot of shit until you punch them in the mouth. I've been on their tail. I was always been the odd man out. I was the third kid trying to help the kids who's getting bullied. I come from that era. We put hands on people, break them down to size. You know, we was about hands, and later the guns came when we got older. What's going on, Pepe? Salute. Um, yeah, man. I understand his story. It's a Southern story, and a lot of new Southern millennials don't understand it. If you're from Georgia, you ain't built like that. You never went to a diverse school or a black school or all white school that's rough like that, like where he comes from. It gets hectic like that. Hell, I fought a white kid in 7th grade, beat his ass on the bus. You know what I mean? I wasn't scared. I was one of them dudes. I had respect after that. So yeah, I was on my little pro back ish back then. I was that dude, man. But I understand where I came from. So his story is relatable, man. But people just don't understand that it depends on how you was raised. See, I was raised by old people. I wasn't raised by a young generation class, and plus I came from a 2-parent home. A lot of these dudes in space are broken. They remind me of my cousins that came from a single parent, and that's the problem. And these are the type of men that's so broken. Um, we don't have a place for them. See, MGTOW tried to fix the divorce man years ago. It was an argument back in 2012, and they didn't know where to go. See, the manosphere, you got a lot of dudes running their heads cut off. They don't even care about what time it is. They didn't have no structure, no means. Some did have means to work and whatever. And I see it for the last couple of years on YouTube. They've been stagnated. They ain't really done no improvements. I get what Kuda was saying, but it's not the ideology, it's how you produce it. People gonna respect it. They're waking up to it, but the society's not built for it. And that was a good stream he did. But yeah, man, we just gotta do better, man. Because I'm not even tripping about no generational argument. I mean, BNT was saying that, yeah, we ain't got nothing to pass down because of ego, man. I see it all the time in my family on both sides. And my dad, when me and him had a conversation, and he said my mom's gonna get along with her siblings. Yeah, she's gonna get along with a few, but not the one that stuck her in the back. But by the way, she's a Libra sign anyway. But you know how they get down. And she's a Leo too. So, you know, she's I wouldn't say demanding, but she's a big personality. But you know, that's my mom though. So you can't tell them no. I'll tell you that. You can't tell Leos no. That's a big no. My dad made a mistake for doing that. And she's a woman too. You're not gonna win that. He's an Aries too, so his birthday's March 31st. So you know how that goes. I mean, they're compatible. Shoot, they heading on to their 40th anniversary, probably somewhere around 2024. That's gonna be interesting. And I'm looking at the sphere, man. You know, people come and go. I'm not mad. I think it's a good thing to learn, but not try to be stagnated in it. You know, some people will outgrow it, be successful. I ain't trying to be famous off this stuff. No, I'm just trying to help the certain people to survive and see what's going on politically, because it is a little politic in it. You just got to stick with it. Of course. Yeah, news mom too. He told me at Rashawn's stream. Yeah, I used to get in it with my mom all the time. See, I'm a Taurus. I know. You tell them no, man. Shit. Even strangers, she'll cuss them out or whatever, man. I remember as a kid. Oh, really? Yeah, Aries. Aries. That sign is very interesting, but it's also my dad's very impatient. I'll tell you that much. He's born on March 31st. He's that warrior spirit. You, if you say the wrong shit to him, he'll get it on your ass too. Both of my parents are fire signs. I understand them very well how they tendencies are. Since I'm a fixed sign, I'm more of a tranquil guy. But you know, I have a mean streak too. My sister's a Capricorn. That's how I understand Kuda and everybody else. Your Capricorns, they don't like something, they gonna cut you off, man. They keep deep secrets. So go figure. So you got, what should I say? You got two earth signs, but you got two fixed signs and two cardinals, but two of those kids are earth signs, but their parents shares the same quality signs. That's the thing. But yeah, you can say that. Yeah. Taurians, they're interesting in a sign itself. I learned a lot about it when I did it on this channel. I learned a lot too. I think me and Beasley talked about it. I think Art talked about it. That's an interesting sign too. And it's a lot too. I try to get away from sweets, but that's the hardest thing for the diet. You start reading about it and the history of it. It had its hate back when I was growing up, but now it's the Capricorn and the Geminis I've seen online on Twitter. I mean, women coming at them hard, man. Yeah, yeah. It's the last day of Pisces season. Oh, you didn't say Pisces. Is that Cancer? I think you mean yeah, Cancer. Yeah, Cancer. My fault. Cancer. Cancer. Yeah. Yeah, because the Leo season starts now. And then you got Virgo season right after it. Those signs, yeah. And now we're gonna head into, after that you got Libra season, then Scorpio. Yeah, it's like all over again. But yeah, Leo season's gonna about to be wild. It's gonna be a hot summer next month because it's getting sticky out here and the south is getting here. Yeah, Cancer season. Yeah, yeah, Cancer season's been nice for me lately. I've been doing decent. I don't read. I used to read horoscopes in school. I used to. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. I just stopped caring about it. I just care about the characteristics right now. I used to read them and got into it for my sign only. But yeah, man. Yeah, it is. You're correct. You're correct. My mother's birthday's on August the 2nd. I don't know what I'm gonna get her for her birthday. So yeah. I think Toy's a Leo on this channel too. She's a Leo. I know artists too. That's a lot of Leos in the space. I told her about that on Rashawn's channel. It's a lot of Leos in this space. But I noticed from Kuda, he's got a lot of Capricorns on his side. Interesting. I was like, okay, Rashawn's a Capricorn, DS1's a Capricorn, he's a Capricorn, and Tyrone. I didn't know that. James Kills a Capricorn. Yeah, and I asked them their birthdays. I said, oh, okay. My sister's is on the 27th of December. Yeah, she's one of those. January Capricorns ain't no joke. I have a cousin that was one. August 10th? Yeah, yeah, yeah. August Leos ain't no joke. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Always got along with July Leos, but the August Leos, they can be very difficult. They can be, because growing up with my mom, not with my parents, like both of them are fire signs. She can be rough on you though at first. I'm talking about the young mother that I had when she was young. When I was younger, she was in her. I think she had me at 26, and then when she was in her 30s, she was something else. She was a character, but she kind of toned down when she's almost 60. So you know how that is. She still got that fighting spirit, so don't let her temper fool you. That old lion can fight back. Old lion can fight back. I ain't scared, but yeah, catch these horns, yeah. I mean, we debate sometimes growing up, but one thing I disagree with her on is the feminist shit. Me and my dad agree on that. He's an Aries. That's funny. He's a cardinal sign. I'm getting along with him way more than my mom because even though they fire signs, it's funny that I've been hanging around a lot of cardinals online and offline because they always give me good advice because I guess we have similar traits. But the planetary stuff, what I learned about it is like, yeah, our detriment is Mars. And then I think my last girlfriend, she was a Libra. She only reason she liked me, and she figured out we had the same type of planet. Yeah, that's because the Venus. I think she deals with the light, and I deal with the nocturnal. Yeah, I did a stream on that. And I was thinking about her tendencies. I said, yeah, she's one of them balance signs of scales. I just couldn't deal with a Libra. You know, I made a mistake, you know, when she picked me. And that was years ago. I cut her off years ago. That was back in '09. I was like, what, 20? I was 20. Yeah, I was 21 at the time around my birthday. I did the right thing too. But I ain't worried about dating nobody in no other sign. I actually was originally supposed to be a Gemini like my father. His birthday is May 24th. Oh, he's a May Gemini. I had a cousin that's a May Gemini. He passed away before Nipsey Hussle in 2019. And he was a good dude. Yeah, Geminis are interesting people. They are characters. I'll tell you that. But end up early was premature baby. That was ended up the Taurus month. Interesting. Third ward, I'm gonna tell you a story about me. I was supposed to be born April 17th on the Aries season, right? My mother said I stayed in too long. So technically 11 months. Most people say 9 months, but it's really 10 months. I was told years ago. So I actually stayed there 11 months. So I was a little stubborn. But the nurse told my mom he won't take no bullshit for nobody. Yeah, we don't. We're calculated. We dismantle shit, arguments. And Toy said, y'all throw y'all weight around. I said, yeah, a little bit, not as much, but we're characters. We're a little petty. Me and Kuda talk about it on the stream. And we get under people's skins. Interesting. So you said your dad's a Libra, but your mom's an Aries. That's a good compatibility right there. Okay, so you have an air and a fire. That's interesting. That is interesting. That is so interesting. Because my dad, he married a Leo. I don't know who he dated before back in college and broke his heart. Yeah, my dad's a typical Aries. But Aries, I found out they were like the first of the zodiac. And I think Libra is like, I forget their number. I forget their number too. I think they're like number 7 or something like that. I forget their number. To all men out here, don't ever get into relations with Gemini women. Them motherfuckers is crazy. Like it's like you're dating two different individuals at the same time. Yeah, it's like 4 people, like Kuda said. Yeah. I don't miss. I mean, dating Gemini is a suicide. Like most people will pump and dump them. That's what I heard. But Geminis, they gotta fit with the right type of people. You know, they fit well with their. I'll say they fit well with their blends. I'll say fire and air. When I did that zodiac stream, and when I read mine, they said the best signs to fit with our blends is water and earth. But 9 out of 10, when you have people at our signs, they always go the wrong way. They go by planetary. That's where they effed up. It's a planetary and a quality sign. That's where they effed up. You can't do that because 9 out of 10, you got to tone your emotions and give and take. You know, that's what you don't want. Aries are the youngest, right? Yeah, in a way, in the season, yeah. But they're like the first zodiac. I do know that on the horoscope. And I know they planet is Mars. They're warlike. I'm going by their myths when I did that stream. And it's a couple of Aries in the sphere too. I think Mike V's one. So, you know, I grew up with Aries, so I know my dad gave me hell growing up because he always liked to debate a lot. He was impatient. He used to be moody, but he was a character. He's a cardinal sign, so yeah. News say I can't fuck with no Gemini women. Nobody can. I mean, Gemini women is okay. The trick with them is you got to know if they're what could say lukewarm. Yeah, that too. They can be a little condescending, but they're cool people. But I won't say it like this. Um, with them, it's a trick. It's like dating a Libra with them because they both do the same thing. You know, the only difference is Libras, they stay balanced. Geminis, they could be a character anytime. You just got to catch it. You got to be smart. You got to learn. And here's the thing, you can't get mad about the stuff they say. It's cryptic. And I think Omega Dress said he was a Gemini. He said that in Kuda's chat. And I read his little chat messages. I say, damn, man, that dude's cryptic. Yeah, you say your dad was a Leo. Interesting. So your dad was a Leo, your mom was a Leo. Interesting relationship. I'll tell you that much. I bet they had something in common. I couldn't do that. I mean, well, I take it back. The Taurus can. I've seen that before. I had a classmate that had two Taurus as their family. I think Stream Team said the same thing. He had two Taurus family, two Earth signs birthed him. Well, I had fire signs. I'm sorry. They traditionalists, like theirs was proximity. But my grandfather, he was a Scorpio. My mom on my mom's side, and the reason her mom liked me, we was the same sign. When she passed away, it's fucked up. You know, she had that renal disease, so that was it. So yeah. It's only a handful of tourists I see in this space. It ain't that many, but the Capricorns, they something else. Oh, the Gemini, yeah. I had a cousin that's a Gemini. I understand. Geminis are interesting people. That's why I like Tassi so much. He's a cool dude. Yeah, she was. She was a big dreamer. I've seen her work. I've seen her stuff online. I think I read some of her books by somebody in the barbershop. They met her. I had a barber that's from DC and he met her in person in Georgia. She's a cool person. So yeah, I like the fact that she had the ISIS papers and things like that. I used to read some of that. I mean, she had some good work. It's sad how she passed away. She used to live in the was it Southwest or something like that, or visit. I don't know. She traveled different places. Yeah, my dad was a Libra. Okay, Libra, Scorpio on the line. Okay, if you believe in the cusp, yeah, I do. I do. There's a cusp. Some of them could be on the cusp. Kobe Bryant was born on the cusp. I would say there's one zodiac sign that said he was born as a Leo cusp Virgo, but technically he's a Virgo because August 23rd. They say he was on the cusp. You know, they get it confused. Yeah. So I get it. I get it. I think Gabe Ed said the same thing, but he's a Leo though. I don't think he's a Virgo. No, he don't have those Virgo tendencies. Virgos, they are great followers. Virgos, they like Joe Buttons in the world. They get on your skin. Them earth signs ain't no joke. Fire signs can be too. They ain't no joke either. They have their own little ways. But air signs is cool people to talk to. My favorite air signs is Aquarius. I don't know why. They're good peoples. I had a cousin, he's 2 years older than I am. He's an Aquarius. That's an interesting sign. They get it wrong every time. Um, interesting. I was talking about congratulating Giannis. Talking about the sphere now. Talking about zodiacs. Interesting conversation. Yeah, yeah. Kuda just need to stick to entertainment. He'll be all right. Okay. Hello, everyone. What's going on, Tara Herring? Salute. Um, yeah, man. I think that discussion with Rashawn was actually pretty cool. You know, we talked about a lot of stuff. I mean, a little bit of zodiac would be all right. What are Cancer Leo cusp? I would say, like this. Well, it's the 23rd is one. That's a cusp, like individual. Like they could be bit of both. I think my mom's. I would say psychologist that she told me she's a Cancer, but she's on the cusp of a Leo. So they got two different personalities. You know, some people believe them, some of them don't. But that cusp, yeah, that's yeah, you got a combination of both there. I almost been a Aries on the set. I don't believe it or not. I almost been a Aries on the 17th on April, but it didn't happen. I was full Taurus on May 2nd. So go figure. But Cancer, that's not a bad sign. They get a bad rep too, not online, but in other places. But they're very sensitive though. They're good people. Yeah, they can be manipulative too. But that's a good water sign. That's our compatibility sign for Taurus. The water blends right there. Cancer and Scorpio. Scorpios are opposite, are opposite. I bet Pisces, Aries people, yeah, they are. Pisces dream in their head all day, all day. Aries is impatient, they're warlike. Because you ever seen Rams fight on the National Geographic? It's funny as shit. Rams ain't no joke. The animal itself is a trip. They don't play. They don't play. They'll knock you side of your head. You try to argue with an Aries about politics, it's suicide. I did that with my father once when I was young. I actually kind of won the argument, and sometimes I don't win. It's like a bit of both. We used to debate a lot growing up on sports. I'm trying to tell you, man, could have been an Aries, but I didn't. I ended up being a Taurus on May 2nd. So, that's when I was due. Just trying to say 9 months, whatever, but nah, it is. That's how it is. Yeah, I bet you they hell. Imagine the Aries and the Taurus. That's hell. One on the cusp, I believe. I'll give you an example. Since Aries is impatient, but the other sign is impatient, it's different. Aries likes to, I forget their leadership role. I used to read it on the website. I can't even tell y'all. That sign itself is very straightforward. The Taurus is the same thing, but the only difference is we're like sustainers. All we do is try to build shit in a in an organized way. So Aries can be a little unorganized, but they get it done. So that's hell. So one side's patient, one side's impatient. That's a dangerous mix. That's a dangerous mix. I would say the Aries and Taurus is hell because they both represent 1 and 2. Because Aries is the first zodiac, and then the second is the Taurus, the second house, and Aries is the first house. Even though Aries is I would say it starts like, I think April's like the 4th month and starts on the 3rd month of March. Yeah, they hell. That's an interesting sign, but it's hell too. It's annoying too. But the Taurus is another story. They got a hell of a tempers too. I do know that because I seen it on my grandma once. She was calling somebody MF at the car trying to run off a road. She was a short woman too. She wasn't playing. So yeah, there's a lot of famous Taurians too that I know. They have tempers too. Like Dennis Rodman's one of them. That's how they won that championship with Michael Jordan. Yeah, my dad does the same thing. He does the same damn thing. On March Aries at that, March 31st, and that's hell. I know he's got the warrior spirit, but he is no fucking joke, man. If you meet him in person, he's a nice dude. If you know him long enough, he'll get under your skin. Don't let that temperament of his fool you. I'll say in his space, yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with a Taurus. They just don't get no credit when it comes to business and stuff. But the funny thing is, with my sign and my dad's sign, when it comes to business, we work well together. I'll tell you that. I know some people that's cardinal signs in general. We always work well with them for some reason because we both believe in the same shit when it comes to ethics and things like that. But we have different ways of looking at things, but we want the same thing. So if you put us in the same birthday as your mom's, yeah, she got that warrior spirit. That's why. He does the same thing. A male version of March 31st is held than a female version. The female version I can imagine, but the male version is a lot worse. He's adamant about it. Those people is something else. I'm not hating on Aries, but 'cause my father's an Aries, but my Aries ain't no joke. I don't get upset with them because I know what they're gonna do. Well, now, I mean, if you're a Leo, you can be a big personality. I mean, you cammed up on the breakdown. Keep doing that. Leo's gonna be all right. I mean, if you're a young Leo, you gonna be all right. And the older you get, you're gonna get better. They end up getting better when they get older. You start speaking more. You become a motivational speaker. Most Leos are motivational speakers anyway. Look at Paul Mooney, for example. That's a comedian. His jokes can be dark and dry as hell, but when the joke sticks, you're not coming back. That's what fixed signs do. They sting people. But Earth signs is a lot worse. When you have a Virgo and a Taurus and a Capricorn together, we evil with our shit. We're like mischiefs. Yeah, I mean, that's a trick. You can't date a Taurus on the same month. It's a secret. April Tauruses are better. I'll tell you that much. And that's all I'm gonna say. They're better. Conversation better. And I'm not talking about black women. I'm talking about other races of women I met. That's April Taurus and Emery. She wasn't a girlfriend, but let's just say she almost had me. But I'm sticking to my blends, not no fire and air signs. No, because we got to work a little harder. Not what I read. I said, hell no, I'm good. We're too much alike, almost in certain areas, but that's a whole nother species. So my sisters are May Taurus. Yeah, May Taurus is something else. They're characters too. They got all the gems. April Taurus, they're a little different. They deal with I think they deal with Venus a lot. I think we deal with the moon. You know how that goes. Depends on your birthday. But I think all Taurus deal with both. So, but the characteristics is the same though. I'll tell you that much. I think Sir Ism is one. I think he's an April Taurus. I think he is one. Some of my very good friends are Aries, but yet they don't seem to have the stereotypical traits as their sign. Well, sometimes it depends on their parents. If they don't have those traits, I'm gonna tell you a secret. It depends on what your parents are. That's a secret. I'll tell you that. I don't have the typical traits of a Taurus. I do have the stubborn possessiveness and receptive behavior, yes, and certain diets, yes. I'm getting better, not eating a whole lot of sugar. But the problem uh with that, you don't see it until they get older. I learned that when I got older. I have some of those ways, and I can be a little petty too with the jokes. I was like that as a kid, but once I got older, I got even worse. Well, but 9 out of 10, they could be decent people. If you're a lucky number, for one, I don't know if you believe that, but lucky numbers is another reason too. They could be lucky numbers. You got to be careful with lucky numbers because if you read the tarot cards, they are like that. And that's probably why you don't see their trace. They know how to keep them calm. If you're not a lucky number, that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother story. I mean, we do all have the same traits. You just don't see them. It depends on how you was raised and how you was, you know, how you adapt to stuff. Yeah, he's a Taurus. I figured that. He's a good dude. I never had a problem with most of my friends I had or my cousins usually be Capricorns and I should say Aquarius. I had some friends that were Aquarius and Virgos, a few. I ain't had many Leo friends. I mean, I know some Leos, but we're like associates. That's it. But outside of it, it's usually the Cardinals and the fixed signs, like the Scorpios. I used to hang with. Um, I would say like the Aquarius. That's it. Even my sign. So yeah. So I'm good, man. Yeah, I just want to congratulate Giannis, and I think we was talking about zodiac signs and things like that. And Yeah, man. I'm just I'm just saying, like, it's a little light discussion, but I'm going back and finish the replay. So with that, man, I'm just gonna say peace and shalom.